Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is April. You are at A.Typical Life. And this is kind of a reiteration of the Atypical Declutter game. This is sort of a monthly video. And what I'm kind of trying to do with this series is make a goal to declutter 100 items per month. Also in each video, so it is a series. So in like last month, I set some goals that I wanted to make happen in February. So it's a check-in. Did I reach those other goals? And also kind of just like a little vlog, like if I, did or did not reach those other goals, what was I doing all month? How was I managing my household and my life and my planning and all that stuff? So I don't know if this is interesting to you or not, but if it is interesting to you, I would hope that you let me know, because sometimes it's hard to figure that out. So let me know if this is interesting, not interesting, and let's just get started, because long intros lose interest pretty quick. So over the last month, which was February, I felt a little bit more like I had more misses than hits, especially when it came to household management and making progress on my decluttering journey. Sometimes I feel that way, and it's not quite the truth. So this is a good time to just check out what I was able to work on, reflect, and really just see what did I declutter, organize, and such. So I started the month, I was rolling over that big digital declutter project that I started working on last month. And I did make a video for that in this month, and that video is pretty awesome. If you would like some ideas on how to fix your digital clutter, I talk about habits and an organization structure that you could use. Two really important things if you're trying to work on your digital clutter. I think the habits are things you can implement right now, and then the structure is something that you can kind of work on as you get into it down the road. But after I wrapped up that project, I had really put a lot of things on the back burner, so I really had to catch up on some other things in life, and that had really just fallen behind. But my wish list for the month of February was really, I've got my food pantry and my freezers cleaned out. That did not happen, and I've got to get that done. It's a little bit stressful because I know that I have food that is going bad. I keep trying to grab stuff that I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure. I keep trying to gently check on things as not gently, but quickly check on things as I am putting things away or whatever. But I've got to get a grip on that really soon. I'm feeling frustrated with myself on this one. I'm like, how could I not have found time to manage this? But I looked back at my planner and I see why I didn't get around to this project. And we sometimes just beat ourselves up, but we forget those little day in and day out things that just take time. February was really busy. The digital declutter project, that took up the whole first week for sure. That's what I was focusing on, that whole first week of February. Then my husband and we do a budget every month to keep our household finances in check. We just check over it. That's basically all we're doing. We're like, we spent this much money, this category, this much money, and it's just a way to keep our eye on not overspending. So I really had to catch up on that because we had let it get behind over the holidays, and that really took a big chunk of time. I had to do December, January, and then get started on February. Then that same week, starting that weekend, that was over the weekend, and that same week we had Super Bowl planning, and we don't do anything big, but we do I like to celebrate. I like to make things feel special. There's a reason for all of us to get together. We play games while we watch the Super Bowl, so I had to do the planning, the food planning mainly, and the cooking for that. So that took a couple days of my free time, and then I also volunteered for my not my Valentine's Day party, my kids' Valentine's Day party for their class. They ended up making me the lead on that, so I had to plan all of that, make sure that my other people that were helping me out were, knew what they wanted to do, and one of them had never done it before, so I had to kind of really help that person figure out what they were going to get managed. And then I did end up having this craft mishap. Oh my gosh. I had bought this craft. It looks so easy and so cute, but the way it was packaged, I was like, oh yeah, this will be great. Well, thankfully, I tried to do one. I always try to do one with my son before the party, because then I can get a good idea what do I need to fix, or will the class be able to do this. Thankfully, I did that and caught that it was an awful, awful, there was no way I could have handed that out to the class. It would have been terrible. It would have been like so much chaos. I would have felt so bad for those kids and embarrassed. So last minute, I had like 4 or 5 days, but I had to come up with a craft for the first graders that was fast, not messy, did not need drying time, easy to explain to, 20 kids at the same time. It wasn't my first rodeo with the crafts too at school, so I kind of have an idea how stressful it gets. But anyways, thankfully, I did find these cute little wreath kits that from Amazon that were able to be shipped on time, because that was the other thing. I couldn't get anything shipped to me. I paid a lot more than I wanted to pay, but I tried so many different little like homemade craft things, and I was like, there's no way I can get this together. So I spent a lot of time and energy on Valentine's Day this year, not to mention just the regular stuff for my husband, and I always like to buy something for my son. So then that same week, we were planning on going on a little trip out of town. It was President's Day weekend, and my kid was off from school for 2 days. So we had a 4-day weekend, and I went to go visit a friend. We had a really nice time. It was great to catch up, but on that very last day we were there, we got sick. It was just a cold, but it did slow us down pretty good, especially right at the front end of it. So we immediately came home, unpacked, recovered from our illness, and then 4 days later, we had to go out of town again to visit another friend who has been wanting to teach my son to ski. And we've been really excited about that. It was like the last opportunity to get there. We didn't get much done that week either. It was just mostly recovering, laundry, repacking, more planning, trying to figure out what you need for a ski trip, because I don't know how to ski. I did make my son, one really cool thing I did that week was I made my son a checklist for the morning. And that's been working really well. I'll share that with you. We are having, we've just been having we've managed. Mornings are stressful, I think, for everybody. And we've really done a lot to manage that. We've made a lot of progress. But lately it's just been a little bit like tense. And I think some of it's for me. Just feeling like, I'm tired of telling you the same things every single morning. And we had started off, we had a timer solution, and that really works pretty nicely. But my son was just having trouble remembering all the steps that we do every morning, like wipe your face off after breakfast, put away your dishes. So we talked about it, and he agreed that a list would probably be better than me standing over him, just telling him, do this, do that. So we decided to use a combination of the timer going off. So I set the timer in like 5 8-minute increments. We have certain times that we use. And then he knows he has to look at the clock, and he has to have things done by certain times. Like he knows that he needs to be finished with breakfast by 7:35. Like he knows that, and he knows he needs to be dressed by 7:45. It's only been a week, but he's taken to it really quickly, and he's using it even better. So I'll come down there and he's looking on his list, and it's so cute. I mean, come on, 6-year-old boys are just so stinking cute. They're stinky, but they're cute. So it's so much better than me having to be the rememberer and the reminder. And I think it just takes some of that tension out of the morning. So that, I feel like that was like a little household management thing that I actually wasn't planning on doing, but that I accomplished in February, trying to give myself any kind of credit. So back from out of town, now I'm still trying to get unpacked, and I just unpacked one of the suitcases today. I also decided to try to learn to ski as well. My body was absolutely exhausted, so I have been so tired this week. And that's okay, because I'm a little old. I'm not too old. I don't think I'm too old to learn to ski, but I don't know. Some of y'all might disagree. But I've just been super exhausted. Plus, my son came home with his dad, and I stayed another day later, and I hung out with my grandma and helped her run some errands. and stuff. So then I get back home and I get my planning straightened out. First thing, my meal planning. That's always the first thing I do when I get back. I get meals back on track. Then I get just general planning, like what do I have to do this week. And then I unpack. I start getting unpacked, and then laundry. So I've got those things done, or in progress at least. And then, you know, I had to get videos filmed. It's March, you know, gotta get stuff done. So did I get my 100 items? Yeah, no. I definitely had the 100 items if we're going to count from the digital stuff. So I just decided to count that. I'm not going to force myself to do any more this month. I thought, oh, I can just grab, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to consider my goal hit with the digital stuff. Because, I mean, I got rid of thousands of things. Plus, I did started another photo declutter in the process, too. So I'm not going to count photos every month. But for this month, since that was kind of my thing, I'm going to go with that. My goals for next month are to get the pantry and freezers. That has to happen. I have this my paper clutter spot, what I do with my mail or like semi-important papers. I need to get that done. My son's schoolwork, where his schoolwork paper clutter spot, because I really struggle with the amount of paper that comes in from school every day. So it has its own spot that it lands in. And then I need to get back starting with consigning. Maybe I'll do a video on that or share another video on that, but I do like these little pop-up consignment sales. I've been taking a little break from consigning those since the holidays could give me some time to focus on other things and get some other things prioritized. So, okay, how are you all doing on your clutter journey? Do you have any goal lists written out? Do you have any goals for the month of March? I think it's really great, even if you don't hit them, it's really great to just go ahead and list out some things that you're wanting to get done. You can keep them top of mind. That's a really great first step. I find that even if I don't get to those things right away when I'm planning to, as long as I have it written down, I usually end up getting to it at some point. And because of this, I just feel like sometimes that there's a little bit of magic in writing things down, even if you never see the list again. How many times have you written a whole grocery list, went to the grocery store, forgot your list, but remembered what was on the list? Has that ever happened to you? Anyways, so that was all. That's my sharing of the month of February. Let me know how you guys did in February, if you did better than me, or worse. But anyways, thank you so much, and I'll see you again next month. Bye.